Joining us, Jon Steinberg. Jon, good to see you.
Good to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. So most of Silicon Valley did not support Donald Trump.
Right, absolutely.
They were very clearly and vocally on Hillary Clinton's team.
Yes.
What do you think comes out of this meeting today?
Well, I have to admit, the first thing when I saw the announcement of the meeting is I emailed Kushner and I said I want to go to this meeting, which I feel really embarrassed about now because when I heard they were having a tech summit, I assumed it was going to be like all startup people. I didn't realize it was like Fortune $500 billion CEO.
Sure.
So I'm a little bit embarrassed about that. What I think is going to come out of this is he's going to like Zucker somebody or Romney somebody. He's going to go in there and he's going to tweet out something. He's going to be off the record and he's going to tweet out something about how like Tim Cook this or Elon Musk that. And I think that if Kellyanne Conway has taught us anything, it's that he likes people who fight without personally attacking him. And my thought on it, as I was thinking about this, is whatever he does, Tim Cook should tweet out something like, Donald Trump doesn't understand how iPhones manufactured. Very sad, exclamation point. Like, so when he goes, he likes that. You know, he likes if you fight about the stuff, but don't personally attack him, I think.
But come on. I mean, all of this is going in Donald Trump's way. Look what Ginny Rometty did, right? She doesn't even get to Trump Tower yet, and yesterday she announces, oh, we're going to add 25,000 new jobs. In this USA Today article, she writes, we have thousands of open positions at any given moment, and we intend to hire 25,000 professionals in the next 4 years in the United States. I mean, a little effort that Donald Trump put into this, and everybody gets in line.
So let me give you the serious, positive commentary. His economic policy or statements around what he wants to do for business, he's right. The market has voted. We may not break 20,000 today because of the interest rate issues, but it's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. Repatriation of the cash, lower corporate tax rates. You got to keep some jobs in the U.S. All of these different levers are really working, and they're really what the economy wants. So he's correct, and to the extent that he focuses on that stuff with them, he's on the right. But if he starts just personally attacking them over things they can't really have any control over, and he decides to throw them under the bus on Twitter, then they got to fight back. I think
one of the big things that's going to come out of this meeting, and I've mentioned it numerous times on the show, is the immigration issue, right? So you've had Silicon Valley consistently want to overhaul the immigration issue when it comes to HB1 visas. They want to be able to bring in the talent and keep the talent here, and I think that was part of the undertone of why they were pushing against Donald Trump, because they thought he was anti-immigration, certain groups, deportation. So I think if there's going to be a conciliatory tone on immigration issues, I think you will see Silicon Valley come around on a lot of the issues.
And also on Silicon Valley, nobody likes to make money more than people in Silicon Valley and pretend that they don't like to make money. Right? So that's
as they drive their Priuses.
They drive Priuses. Meanwhile, they're like buying islands and they fly more private aircraft than anybody. Right? So there's definitely a two-facedness to how these people act, as opposed to someone like a Rex Tillerson, who's just going to go all over the world, do whatever it takes to make money off of oil, right? So everybody's sort of the same, and I think that if anything, he's got a right to kind of give them a little bit of a hard time about that. They tried to all be so liberal with Hillary Clinton. Meanwhile, they're all in the limousine.
They have to know that, though, because it has been easy street the last 8 years for all of these major tech companies in dealing with the White House, because they were on the same side politically, and they've gotten virtually no pushback. They got net neutrality out of the Obama administration. Increasing concentration of power in very few hands in Silicon Valley. No pushback on that. Look, even the privacy issue, and they've got to be concerned.
And how many dance bowls did they go to at the White House? Beyonce and Jay-Z.
I think I'm literally the only person in Silicon Valley in tech that I don't think net neutrality makes sense. I don't get it. These cable companies are losing all of their franchise over set channels as the internet blows all of this up. They've put fiber and cable all over the entire world. They're not allowed to charge Netflix for it. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So whenever a policy is just open and liberal without even really thinking about it in a lot of cases, Silicon Valley says, okay, that makes sense. Just knee-jerk. And then everybody's very afraid to kind of speak out, with the exception of Thiel, because they're afraid of what it will do to their business, right?
They're afraid of what it's going to do to their employees, because some of these employees are still crying. They're still sniveling when they go to work in the morning because Hillary Clinton lost, and I am not joking about that. People are still all over Facebook about that.
Maybe they need some hot cocoa.
But you're right. Donald Trump is going to end the crony capitalism that has happened over the last 8 years with Silicon Valley and the tech industry.
Yeah, and the amazing part is that Hillary lobbied so hard out there, spent so much time in California doing all these fundraisers, and I mean, that was probably the one place that she shouldn't have spent all the time.
Maybe they're crying because they basically poured money down a big hole in the ground, putting money behind her campaign. I don't know if they were raising money right and left for her.
I also expect to come out of this meeting, though, a few quick wins, because he responds to fighters, but he also responds very well if you say, I'm going to do something for Donald Trump, the carrier jobs. And so you can imagine there's going to be some.
What is Jeff Bezos going to say about Washington Post? The Washington Post putting 20 reporters on Donald Trump. Remember that one? I'm going to put 20 reporters on Donald Trump because we owe it to our readers. And no additional reporters on actually the one who was under FBI investigation, Hillary Clinton.
And meanwhile, he's the one during the holidays running the fulfillment centers with some of the worst conditions and air conditioning issues of almost anybody, right? So, I mean, that goes to it again. You know, Donald Trump should give him a hard time about the conditions in a lot of his warehouses.
All right, we'll be watching, John. Great analysis.
Good being here, guys.
You.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.